thing.
No. This is something that is very near and dear to his heart. So, one of his very favorite programs that's been so successful in this district. He only gets one.
Hamburger
Just get
sack.
one, and then we'll comply with your request tonight.
That's nice. That'd be the first time.
First time we got on the program.
Hey, boy. There you go. I tell you,
That's not a very big one.
let's get that thing.
That's the best I could borrow from hamburgers.
You mean we have to give them back?
Hey.
Sure, yeah. Here's one of these for everybody.
Hey,
What's
Jim,
that?
what are those?
What are
I'm surprised you don't have that letter to pass around, Jim. Had a letter that we sent out a couple of years ago, I guess, to,
Is this better than the orange jacket?
that goes well in the orange jackets. What's this letter, Jim?
No, what do you got there?
You got a letter.
Oh, he got one? No, you can't have that. You're on. You're on.
Well, no, he was speaking.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
Well,
go
don't
ahead,
let him.
Warren.
No, no,
Yeah,
I just said that we sent a letter out a couple of years ago, and we were having trouble
You missed it.
identifying
Yeah.
management people in penny stores. A number of customers said they couldn't find them, so we decided we were going to wear white carnations so we could identify all the management people in the store. The only problem is it didn't work out very well because you can't see them in the office.
I think Joe Lodge is a little sensitive.
Yeah, Joe, I talked to Joe. He got that big flower, you know, but he never did. We sent it all that, and he never did respond. Phil boxed that up and.
I got this position because of age, not by ability. This is, Warren, sort of an informal evening that the fellows want to get together and they have a few things they want to relate. And I just want to say that, you know, you're a heck of a DM. You don't like hell. And Warren says I cuss nice. And just terribly efficient and all these other things, but really, I don't know much about it because I was with Ward Wright for 5 years, and anything would have been good, you know, after that. So coming down from Buffalo, and I have enjoyed it. 5 years, you get a few hash marks.
Slash marks across the back.
Yeah, you get that too, and a few other things. Well, I'm going alphabetically here and not age. And John, did you want to have a few things that you want to?
I just had a question for you. I can remember, I think we go back about 20 years maybe.
I wouldn't be
And,
surprised.
about 14 years ago, you were in my store in Salisbury when I was assistant manager, and you and John Harding, and you've told me this story, I think 5 times, so I just wanted to be sure that I was
Have
going to
you got it right?
Well, that's what I'm going to ask you. You and John bought this box of Reese cups. You remember that?
I sure do.
And you told me several times that you and John went to the motel room and that John ate most of the Reese cups. Now I think it's time that you really tell me who ate most of the Reese cups.
I tell you, you know, that's, I'll never forget that because, you know, strangely enough, I had never eaten a Reese's cup. I think they may have been even new at that point in time. That's a long time ago. And we'd had a real tough, we got into the store and nothing was right.
Well, no, you didn't need to say that.
Oh.
Who was manager?
That whole thing was
I forgot all about that. I'm sorry about that.
Who was manager's
Just
name?
thinking back.
relaxed is one thing, hard nosed is another.
No, that was a fun evening, John. We went into this store in frustration because we can back up on that. I had a piece or half of a lemon pie that day in a restaurant somewhere, and John missed out on it. So John had been frustrated all evening. So we went in and bought these Reese's peanut butter cups, a 2-pound box, and I was writing the one part of the report, and John was writing the other, and the peanut butter cups were between us. And I've got to admit that it was a fight to see whose hand hit that box the fastest on those Reese's peanut butter cups. When John was in the hospital, I sent him a 5-pound box of Reese's peanut butter cups from the bottom and wrapped them up and sent them to him. Yeah, that was a fun trip. John, that's a long time ago.
Sure was.
Yeah.
My cigar's not long enough to light it off that anymore.
R.O., what did you, have anything to add?
R.O.?
Is this R.O.?
R.O.?
Yeah, this,
Mr. Miller liked your operation today. I think he spoke kindly of it.
Yeah, he did a lot
Thought
of
he could improve that, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. He made a lot of brownie points to that shrinkies, didn't he?
yeah, I probably spent the longest period of time with Mr. Wilkin, I guess, than any of you probably here. And 7 years of that, I guess, or thereabouts, was spent in operations. And of course, I should have something to say about shrinkies, I suppose, because for 7 years he trained me how to control shrinkies. I did have something.
What a job.
I did have something somewhere. Oh, I guess we have a little letter here. We didn't get it typed up, but we have a little letter here from the store. This is to Mr. Wilkin, Regional Operations Manager, and probably the first letter you get, and we'll have it typed up.
Good, good.
It says, congratulations on your new assignment as Regional Operations and on your fine improvement in shrinkage control in fiscal 1978 from 1.9 to 1.6 in the district. So you did a fine job on shrinkage, so you got promoted. It says, Warren, we are requesting permission to move our Germantown store location from 142 West Shelton to 43 West Shelton in the old Sears building. This move will allow us to increase, number one, our net sale from 23,000 to 50,000 square feet. Number two, sales from 3 million to 6 million annually. Number three, we will increase our window capacity from 9 windows to 18. And at $800 a broken window, that will only cost us $15,000 a year. Number four, we increase our doors from 8 to 16, and at $300 per door broken a year, that'll only be $5,000 extra expense. Number five, our shrinkage from 6% to 10% a year, or from $122,000 to $250,000 per year. Number six, increase our uniform guards from 2 to 5, and a personal guard for the manager. Warren, with these increases, we feel that this should be high priority on your list. Best regard, Germantown Kid. Some of you may not know, but Germantown was the first store that Mr. Wilkin managed, and also was my first store, so I don't remember how many years ago that was, but
I don't
evidently
remember either.
it's been quite a few. But there's still a few people around working in the store that either Mr. Wilkin hired or was there when he got there. They're still there. So we felt it was only appropriate that these people give him a little token of some sort here. So we have something for him so he'll remember Germantown, because we know he wouldn't want to forget that with a 6% shrinkage. So it says to Warren J. Wilkin, from your first store associates, 1662 Germantown, and there happen to be 5 people still there. Bob Pye, Lee Boyd, Marjorie Caldwell, Marie D. O'Dare, and Ed the Fiddler. This is happened to be a picture of one of the
Hold it there
One of
so I
the,
can get a shot of it.
homes in Germantown.
Hold
And
it.
there's 4 of these in the store, in the manager's office, and everybody wants one. They're pretty valuable pictures, believe it or not. I don't know what they're worth, but a lot of people like to have them. And of course, we wouldn't give up, we wouldn't part with them under no circumstance, but we did lose one. So we're going to give this one to Mr. Wilkin to remember Germantown.
Hey, thank you, Russ. Yeah, that's great. That's Germantown, right there. That is Germantown. And Russ has those 5 people, Bob Pye, Lee Boyd, Marjorie Caldwell, Marie D'Adare, and the Fiddler. I don't remember what their, when we hired them, whether they were there. Hugh Compton opened the store, the Germantown store, in October of 1954. And then I went to the Germantown store in June of 1955. So there was such a short period of time there between when we opened and Hugh left and when I got there that it's sort of hard to keep track. But those 5 people are people that I remember very well, and they've been here a while. But that would be like 24 years.
Bob's been there, he's been with the company over 25 years. I know he has, because we give him a 25-year pin.
Yeah, I think he
I
was
can't really
hired
tell you
in-
about the other.
I believe Bob was hired in, I believe he was hired in Upper Darby, maybe. And then just a short time later came to Germantown. That's a fantastic picture. Huh?
Bob, was that the display name?
You're right,
Yeah, Bob
right,
Klein,
that's
right.
correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good man.
Saw our old friend, Jacqueline the other day in Upper Darby. Yeah.
Fred, did you have anything to say, or tonight?
Before this year started, I had a lot to say. After last year, I don't have too much to say, but, you know, you want to turn that off? Is that tape recorder off?
I won't.
You want to turn
Can I
that
turn
off? Would you turn it off, please?
I don't know how.
I remember Warren when he came into Eastover. See, that was after he had been in Germantown. And the flyer jackets, you know, he's a good merchant, right? What was 10,000 flyer jackets? Well,
To go.
to go.
We're
I
changing the
remember
color of
when
the Penguins.
when Warren came into Eastover, and I wasn't there at the time. I had my reprieve, and I had gone. But I remember that he was a good merchant then too, or when he was in Germantown, because I think John Orwig was in Eastover, and I wondered where all these fans came from. You remember fans in Germantown? And I think they had shipped half the fans that Germantown had as a carryover to Eastover, and they were still selling some fans for 2 or 3 years that were left in Germantown. So, you know, Warren just didn't develop into a merchant. He was a merchant back in Germantown.
You've been working at it, you mean?
Yeah. But I wouldn't want to say anything. After the year I had last year, I wouldn't want to be remembered, you know.
You really don't want it on tape?
No, I wouldn't want, no, I wouldn't even think of saying it, you know.
I didn't think you had the guts to talk this much.
No, I wouldn't. Just imagine if I had a good year.
And folks, the voice you just
Oh, I tell you.
Moves right along, you know, you go right ahead.
Bill, you're next. Bill Ellers.
I said all I had to say to meeting today.
Yeah, you did pretty good, Bill. Yeah.
I didn't remember, boss.
Yeah.
You kept looking around that corner.
No, since the boss shops at my store every Saturday and Sunday, I thought I would say whatever I had to say till after he moved. Because last weekend it's one of my people, they like him so well, they gave him some merchandise. We seem to have something we managed to do each weekend. So I'm going to save it till later on. But we wish you well, boss. We've been together a couple of years before we got here.
Yeah.
And, good luck to you in Pittsburgh. And we know you do a good job.
Well, Bill, I had some pictures out of the folder the other night, and reminiscing a little bit in Cincinnati days. I guess that goes back almost 10 years, doesn't it? 69. Mm-hmm. Well, it's, time flies pretty fast, I'll tell you, when you're having fun. Even when I'm in your store, I'm having fun, Bill, I want you to know I enjoy that. You know, that's a difficult thing, though. The most difficult thing for me to do is to shop in a penny store. Geez, it's tough to shop because, you know, invariably, if it happens to me. I mean, geez, if it's going to happen, why? It'll happen to you when you're in the store. And sort of running, I had a little fun in John Hamm's story there, and I'll tell this real quickly. But his young man, Bruce Scott, was so excited about how his sporting goods department looked, and his sporting goods, paint, hardware, and work clothes. He said, boy, boss, he said, we're set. He said, we're just really in business, and we're really ready to go, and I mean to tell you, we've got it. He said, we're off and running. I said, Bruce, go pull me out a 40-30 khaki pant, will you, over in the work clothes department? And of course, we didn't have 40-30 khaki pants.
He brought one of those up to me today, and he said to tell you he had it.
Did you bring it with you, John? I have his charge number.
Wait a shirt turn. He swears that I went over and checked that, but you know, again, those things just happen to you somehow. I don't know.
You probably buy 12 and never sell them.
That's right. You can buy 4 or 100.
Yeah, or 100.
112.
Fred Ackerman asked me to mention to you that maybe some glassware. Would you remember any glassware?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, Fred was with us down in Eastover in Washington, yeah. I'll tell
Living
you.
glasses or something.
Yeah, I sure do. Isn't that something?
Ron Schuler?
Well, I don't, myself, I don't have anything to say, but most of the managers around the table made up a poem for you. I asked if I would read it.
You gonna record it?
Yes, if I
Yeah.
can write it, I
Yeah,
can
okay.
record it. It's called a poem for Warren from the managers.
That's appropriate, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's original anyhow. Yeah, that's original.
This is, Warren, the news of your leaving makes me despair, for there are many questions still up in the air. We had hoped someday that you would provide the secret answers that you kept inside. Like dieting, as we all know, that you are the expert with the physique to show. How do you stay so trim and neat? We know you skip lunch, but how about the sweets?
That's free.
Your consumption of ice cream is legend, we're told. News of your departure causes Baskin-Robbins to fold. This next one is a great one, I think. And I happen to write this one myself.
Oh.
The rest of the managers. But, today is no different from this either. How you developed your kidneys was a mystery to me.
Amen.
As we sat through your 8 to 8 meetings with no breaks for a pee.
It doesn't rhyme, but it's
That's great.
He has a bag.
He wrote that today. You would rant and rave and pace the floor and scream about overstocks which filled the store. We thought to ourselves, how can we get in line? When some clown is sending us merchandise we couldn't sell to the blind. Like flyer jackets to sell at $29.95, they're now at $19.99 and continuing to die. Dried flowers is a program we jumped in with both feet. Blew the salary cost by hiring someone to kill bugs and to sweep. I love this poem.
Oh, dear.
Well, you're going now. 80-17 will never be the same. And although it will be Philly's loss, it will be Pittsburgh's great game.
Thanks, Ron. That's great.
Norm, that's pretty hard to follow.
Yeah, you have a...
Well, I'll tell you what, I got involved in a couple different programs up here. Just reverting back to one thing, I remember there was one thing that happened to me. I was having trouble getting some volume in the store the first few months that we were open. And somebody called from the district office and warned me that Mr. Wilkin was on the way up. And so I scurried around the store and got everything picked up, except I forgot to open up the back door. You caught that.
Yeah.
No, I'd say probably the thing that will go down in my memoirs as your biggest contribution was the Great American Crab Race. I don't know how many of you were around here at the time to get involved in that. There's one. There's another. Okay. When we had the presentation from you, Mr. Wilkin, I really didn't know what the hell a crab was. To tell you the truth, but I figured anybody.
You heard about
that
the service.
Yeah, I guess so. I figured anybody that would pick a guy, a young wasp from Michigan, out and bring him out here and give him a brand new store couldn't be all bad. And if you were that gung-ho about crabs, then I'd go. And I did. And we got all these crabs, and we got food, and we got rocks, and we got half that damn department filled up with T-shirts, obnoxious T-shirts, terrible. Couldn't sell some of them. We got the whole department, and we had these weekly Saturday afternoon contests. Remember those?
Yeah.
Well, we
Sure
did
do.
such a great job that the district honored me with the championships.
Yeah, you had the championship races.
We had the championship races, and you know,
this isn't much of a crowd, but I wish that this many people would have been there.
How many? How many?
Oh, I don't know, there was 2 or 3. And we sent some poor soul off to Florida. And I never have heard from those. I don't know where they've gone to. You know, the thing that makes me feel the worst though, is that I carried young Warren around with me for ever since that fiasco. Had one little crab who survived it all. I put him in my pocket, and this afternoon he drowned.